Right, I think we're live, hopefully, and let's just back out a little bit. Okay, hopefully that's working for us. Perfect. Sorry for all the movement. Hopefully that's going to now sort itself out and we'll be a little bit better off. Well, welcome this evening to the live stream, and we are live. Oh, kill the took your advice from last week. Decided to give this one a go. So let me know if this works for you guys. Right, we're going to continue this evening like we were last week, which is on the German Fallschirmjäger. They're on the table in front of me. If you saw my video on Sunday, obviously these were one of my objectives for the year, to get these guys painted. So I'm going to try to move this project on today or this evening, at least to a point where I can maybe get these finished in the next week or so. Most of the issue is that I've been doing a lot of work in the house, trying to decorate my daughter's new bedroom. We're doing a 3-room swap, so this is probably the last live stream potentially that I'm going to do in this room. I've been very lucky to have it, but I've sort of I've sacrificed it to make the house work better. So I am going to be going to my daughter's current bedroom, which is smaller, but I won't be taking everything in the room with me. The bookshelves will be staying, so that will give me a little less sort of stuff to fit into the new room, but we shall see how it goes. The room is painted, and the what do you call it, the bunk bed is built, so it's just a case of moving furniture around now, and that means getting this room a little bit more tidy, ready to move. Hyper efficient room then, yes indeed, that is the hope. So I think I'm going to start tonight getting some of the helmet covers that I missed off last week. So I'm going to be using the Plague Bearer Flesh again, the same one that I used on the smocks, but this time I'm just going to do some of the helmet covers with it. So I'm going to start with this tonight. What are you guys up to? Are you painting, watching, or just chilling out? A bit of terrain? Let me know. Appreciate this way around you can see what I'm painting better and see what I'm doing, but I don't know whether it's close enough, so let me know if we need to zoom in a bit more and I can do that, or whether that be too close. This is a learning process, what is working best for the live stream. So just throwing him around after wiping some of his paint off of his. Yeah, cracking job, Carl, cracking job. Melting, yeah, it is really warm in the UK, but it's very still today, certainly where I am, which is really a bit of a pain. We have had some thunder and lightning today, and a little bit of rain as well, so, but it's not really cooled it off, and I'm not looking forward to sleeping tonight. It wasn't pleasant last night, and I don't think it's going to be pleasant tonight either, but we shall wait and see. Yeah. Lovely. Excellent. I like the fact that some of these figures have got helmet covers on, some of them don't. It's quite a nice little mix, I think, of equipment. What they've got. Some, as I say, got helmet covers. Others don't. They've got the sort of traditional, original, early war helmets, which I really like. These are quite fun to paint, just because of the sort of variety of poses. The prints are done, so one of the sections has been primed and ready to test on Friday to see how the weathering works on PLA plastic. Fantastic. Steve says just grabbed a drink and did some quick priming. Brilliant. Is that priming with a rattle can then, is it, Steve? My preferred method of priming, that's for sure. Lovely. Move him over there, right. I have to say, Steve, so the whole idea of doing Napoleonics just isn't leaving my brain. And the 6mm option, I think, is where I'm going to end up. I really can't bring myself to do the many, essentially 15mm epic scale Brits. So, and I think for the money's worth, I could probably get a really good starter armies pack from Bacchus for probably, I think they were like £50-60. And then, so £50-60 for the starter army, which I think would give me enough figures to do most of a good size army. That's what I'm leaning towards, but happy to take suggestions. Or Pendragon 10mm. Not the first person to get me to try to get me to use Pendragon. In fact, I all my 10mm Falkland stuff is Pendragon. They're really nice, to be fair. But I'm just, I don't know, 10mm means I need all the terrain for that. Whereas I suppose 6mm I need terrain. Yeah, it's a really good point. I'm not sure what I want to do, and I keep having this problem. I figure whatever scale I use, I should be able to base them in a way where I can use them for Soldiers of Napoleon, but I could also use them for black powder. That's kind of my feeling about it. Yeah. Right, we're going to move on to their trousers next. So we're going to use the Militarum Green contrast paint. How many have we got watching? Oh, I can't see. Let's have a quick look. 4. Brilliant. Thank you ever so much, everyone, for your support. I have to say, I walked away from last week's live stream absolutely buzzing. Such great attendance and engagement. It was just a really, really enjoyable live stream. So thank you to everybody who joined in, who was watching, who was on the chat. Much appreciated. Lovely. I usually buy a couple of packs of each and see how I like painting them. Going over the collection of 3mm scenery I've received. Bit of a mixed bunch, literally and figuratively. Yeah, I mean, Steve, that's not a bad idea to buy a couple of packs of each and see what you enjoy. I just, I have painted Bacchus figures before. I think the only thing that puts me off Bacchus is the bayonets, but to be honest, I think I'd just cut the bayonets off and go like that. But yeah, 10mm certainly would have an advantage. You'd have less on a. Well, I suppose 6mm you wouldn't have that many on a base either. I'm gonna have to do some more thinking. Ultimately, if I do this, it's going to be a project for 2026. I don't intend. I might buy the figures beforehand, say at Colours, because I think I'll go to Colours this year. And if I pick them up, I will probably hold on to them until the new year. I think that's what I'm going to go for. Yeah. What was I going to say? I guess I want a project that's not going to take me forever, and I'm not going to lose enthusiasm over. And speaking of enthusiasm, I just realised that it's probably about a year since I really kind of decided to give the channel a really good go. Back last August. About last August? I want to say it was about last August. Anyway, so basically I've been back at it now since August. Is that right? don't know. I need to go back and look at my videos, work out when I really started upping my game in terms of the quality of videos and editing and the not the structure but the format of the episodes as well. I gave that a good review and an update probably about a year ago now. Johan, 3 mil terrain. Tell me more. I take it this is for. Was this moderns that you were getting these for? 3 mil Cold War, maybe. Remember you mentioned it sort of last live stream last week. I can't quite remember whether you said it was Cold War or something else. Most of them moderns, yes. Northag in 3 mil. Yeah, nice. I have to say, I was tempted. I've seen some of the posts that Pierce put up from his Cold War game that he did, or Northag game that he did with some of his friends. I guess was it early this week or at the weekend, something like that. And I have to say, I do like the look of the. Is it 15? No, it's not 15 mil, is it? The ones that PSC brought out, they were like, I can't remember, Siocast or something. But those little blister packs and the sort of unit packs that they came in, they look quite good. Never bought any because again, it was a game system that I could have tried to get into, and then another game system that I didn't actually get anything paid for, and no games played, and all that good stuff. I think we might have had a couple of guys down the club that play it. I just haven't been to the club in a while. I did debate about going last week, and then I was just exhausted by the time I got to time to go out, so I didn't go in the end. But it was a consideration for a few minutes. The guys have been playing, I think, some learning games of Chain of Command 2. So it would be good to be there just so I could learn the rules, have a game or two, see what I think. Because I've played the first edition. I was thinking about getting the getting the rule set now that the second edition's out, but I haven't pulled the trigger on that one yet. Mostly because I'm just not playing many games. But yeah, we'll see. Right, where are we at on the comments? It's churches, houses, flats, and farms, etc. It's not a bad little set of terrain to pick up, really. Good combination. About half a moulds made off of Shapeways originals from years back, so they are very gritty. I mean, is there some advantage to that, or is it just all sort of negative? Oh, I know what I was going to ask you, Steve. If you're a Napoleonic player, have you picked up the I think it was a PDF from Warlord, possibly even a fullback, and it was one of the, is it Triumphant Albion or something? One of the Napoleonic supplements for Black Powder, and it was focused specifically on the Peninsular War. If you've picked it up, what did you think about it? Because it's one that I was tempted to pick up, but let me know in the comments what you thought of it, because I'll be keen to know whether it's worth picking up before I make that decision. Another bit of news that you might be interested in, I'm in an RN and I have put on my virtual cart on Great Escape Games, I've put one of their new 3D, MDF printed MDF terrace houses for obviously Chicago way, but using it for the Peaky Blinders stuff. So I put that in my cart, and that is one that I will buy at some point and then do a review of. The other I've also put in the cart, the Barbershop, which is one of the plastic kits for Dead Man's Hand. And I've had a subscriber ask me asked me to do a painting tutorial for how I paint my Wild West building. So I'm probably going to pick that one up and then use that for my tutorial. But yeah, just to let you know, those things are coming down the pipeline. And that is absolutely typical, isn't it, Steve? But no worries. I can't remember if I've picked up any of the black powder supplements. I've got the black powder rule book. Let me look at this. Oh, the shelf is of course covered in foam that I was storing to get out of the way, so I could put the overhead camera boom over the top. I'll have to have a look at that another time. Yes. In other news, Mark, my friend Mark, is back from holiday on I think Saturday. I'm going to give him a few days and then hopefully get around to his to play some Strength and Honor and get Minas Tirith out on the table and yeah, get a game in ahead of this Lardy Day that Mark's organising in January, so we can get a few games played and tested. And then see how it works. Maybe make a few tweaks. If it's going well, my hope is to convince Mark to do a playthrough and let me record it so that we can so I can put it up as a battle report on the channel. So keep your eyes posted or keep your eyes peeled, I should say, because that will be hopefully coming up in the not too distant future. And I think that will be quite a popular one, I'm hoping. I've had some popular videos, as in over 1,000 views this year. So it's been really encouraging. Just need to get some more and also get a few more, get it more regularly. But it's all in good time. Slow and steady wins the race, as they say. Sorry, Steve, I missed that comment. You really do need the supplements. It's where all the flavour comes from. Yeah, I did wonder that. I've heard people say that black powder is a very generic game, and it's covering a large period of history and warfare, but with sort of very generic set of rules. So, I mean, that's obviously good for some things, but not everybody's cup of tea. But if the supplements bring extra flavour, then that is definitely worth picking up. And I don't know whether I'm going to try find it on get it as a PDF or whether just to try find a copy, hard copy. I assume Warlord still sells it, but might be one to look into either at Colours or just go online and buy it. I am very tempted, very, very tempted. I might even just pull the trigger at Colours and also get Soldiers of Napoleon. So yeah, I think my sort of plan would be pick up the figures, pick up the rules, and possibly that other supplement. Because even if I do play Soldiers of Napoleon, there's no reason why the supplement for Black Powder shouldn't be able to give me scenarios and ideas for Soldiers of Napoleon. So yeah, I think that might be my plan for colours this year. Get those bits and pieces, and I think colours, if I remember correctly, it's September time, so it's not too much before, not quite soon before my birthday, or quite close to my birthday, I should say. That's what I was trying to say. So yeah, could pick those up. Right, 20 past already. Time flies with you guys. Right, so I'm going to move on to doing the Black Legion contrast paint. I'm going to be putting this on their boots primarily. If I might also try and put it on some of the webbing as well, but we shall see. Let's give this a good go. How is the camera working? Is it better than it was last week in terms of view, seeing what's going on? Any thoughts on the camera work? Not the camera work, but just the angle and general view. Yeah, let's try. Works for you. Awesome. And I got a thumbs up from Steve as well. That's brilliant. Thank you very much, gents. That's exactly what I was going for. Just wasn't sure whether I needed to sort of zoom in a little bit more, whether this was close enough, or whether you would have liked a closer up shot. But I mean, I'm no painting expert, so don't expect to see any works of art. I'm just quite impressed that I can throw some paint on some figures from time to time, and they don't turn out looking terrible. Have you ever done that thing where you find your very first figures that you painted and you compare them to what your most recent ones? I did that once. I can remember my first figures were the old Bolt Action, and I say Bolt Action because they were actually Bolt Action when the company was called that before Warlord became Warlord, I guess. And I think it was before sort of Bolt Action the game came out. And these Bolt Action Red Devils, so they were British Airborne figures. They were the metal ones. Really, really quite nice figures, to be fair. Sort of when the proportions were less sort of heroic and more, well, a little bit closer to actual scale, or actual sort of proportions. Anyway, so I can remember painting them. I didn't use any washes. The red, Dougie Robinson would have killed me on the red that I used for the maroon berets. And it just all round, it was like, obviously I gave it a go and I tried my best, and I don't know whether I actually enjoyed it or not, but it was one of those things you have a go at when you're getting into something new. And yeah, looking back at them now, they are a little bit shocking. The Denison Smock definitely doesn't look anything like a Denison Smock. It's got an attempt at camouflage, so there's some greens and some browns in there, and probably a bit of tan as well, whatever the color was. But yeah. But I think somewhere in my stash of figures, I've got some 20mm AB miniature British Paras, and recently I've watched Dougie's video where he went through the Denison Smock painting tutorial. And I have to say, I've been tempted to get them out and have a go at painting them. Not that that's going to be particularly easy, and I tend to stick away from sort of camouflage patterns because I just don't like doing them. But he made it look easy, as they do, these paintings. So the question is, do I eventually give them a go? I think I'm going to get a few projects out of the way first before I give them a go. But yeah, it could be interesting. I was going to say fun, but I'm not sure how fun they will be. Black, get off that. Smart trial figure type. That's not a bad idea, actually. And I have to say, there is something nice about painting just one figure rather than doing a batch paint. But yeah. Maybe I will give that a go. That's really not a bad idea, Johan. Yeah, might do that. Maybe I should do that as a live stream, so you can watch along and laugh as it goes horribly wrong. The problem is, AB figures are so nice. I don't want to screw it up and like do a bad job of it. But if there's ever a nice figure to paint and that might actually be forgiving and be easier than others, that AB's probably the one. So yeah, maybe I'll give that a go. I have to watch Dougie's video sort of 100 times before I get onto the live stream, but could absolutely give that a go. I don't think me stripping Johan's going to make any difference to the quality of painting, but I do appreciate the suggestion. Sorry, I'll strip the figure. Yeah, you are right. That is true, and probably a far better suggestion than me stripping. Sorry, doing the old holding my breath to make sure that I can get this right. Cool. Right, there's one on the base. It is. I always do like that moment when the figures just start kind of coming together, and you start going, "Oh, actually, this might not turn out too badly." I'm kind of looking forward to that with the Napoleonic figures. Of sort of, you do a few, and then you think, "Oh, actually, that's looking all right," and then you put a couple of strips together on a base, and you go, "Oh, all right, okay, now I'm really starting to see it come together." So yeah, that will be quite a nice moment. Johan says, got to pay for new figs one way or the other, not shaming anyone. Yes, true. Yeah, although I'm sure I can't say too much on YouTube because I get banned or something. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Gotta get your hobby money somehow. I mean, I tried doing the dishes, but my wife said that I should just be doing those anyway, so that didn't work. All right, let's get this guy's webbing done. We will moving through these fairly rapidly this evening, so I was sort of thinking, oh, I will only need 3 colour paints because I won't get anything more done than that. And yeah, we're rapidly moving towards needing a new one, another paint. And the problem is, I've only looked at one more paint up on my video. So if I end up going, please somebody watch my other video and tell me what it is, yeah, you'll know why. Some of these straps are a bit thick, but that's all right. It's all right. They're doing all right. Right, where are we at? Oh, good evening, Robert. I just got in. How's it going? Yeah, it is well, thank you. We are living the dream. We are painting Fallschirmjäger again. Lovely. It's all right. Halfway through, and I finally took my first drink. That's always encouraging of an evening. But yeah, we just moved on to boots and webbing, or sort of, I guess not all of the webbing, but just the straps and the yoke, which would have been leather black or black leather. Just had a. Oh, thank you, Robert. Really appreciate that. I'm not sure how good the angle is or the distance away from the figures that the camera is, but hopefully you're getting a good enough idea of how they're turning out. Advance notice: I will not be doing a live stream. I believe it's the 10th of September, which is a Wednesday. I've got a works dinner, mess dinner, and everybody's getting dressed up all fancy. I'm gonna be hopefully buying my suit at the weekend, my black tie. But yeah, the admiral who I work for is leaving, and being replaced with a new admiral. And so we are doing a dinner for him to bid him a farewell. Really nice guy. So it'll be sad to see him go, but you know, these things happen. I don't know if you can hear in the background. So I've got my window open because it is pretty warm, and I can just about hear some chanting in the background. So I think Gosport Borough might be playing at home tonight, which is always fun. I haven't been to a Borough game in years, but I will. I've been thinking about it. My wife and I are going to Manchester in January. So we've bought tickets to go and see Manchester City, who are the team I support, play Brighton. And before you ask, couldn't I just go to Brighton and see him play? Possibly, although that is the weekend that I'm away at a war game, at a reenactment show, so I won't be able to make that weekend. Whether I'd get a ticket or not, I'm not sure. But there we go. So, oh, good, good shot. Half his figures, half his hands. How's that? If I move that closer, does that work? I'm not sure I could hold them at this height all the time, but it's definitely a better view. But well, if Robert, you can see them, then we're winning. Cooking with gas. Brilliant. Lovely. I do like painting these. I am wondering if they're 20mm or whether they're more like 25mm, but they're good figures all the same. Do like them. Oh no, low is good enough. Don't strain those hands. Yeah, I'll keep the hands good. Lovely. Right, let's get some webbing on this guy, and it's a bit bad, but squeeze in there. Right, quick strap there. Excuse me. Perfect. And that's that. That looks good. And then a quick strap here. Lovely. Yep, happy with that one. We're doing well. So I'm just trying to think what I've got here. So from a chain of command point of view, don't get too upset when Brighton win. I did wonder, Robert, whether you were from Brighton. I remember that conversation many weeks ago. Yeah, we'll wait and see on that one. If I'm not on the live stream, you'll know why. In fact, actually, 7th of January, which is a Wednesday, I will be in Manchester watching City play Brighton, so I won't be on a live stream then either, but that is still to come. So what have I got here? I have got junior leader, a couple of riflemen, LMG team here, and this small gun, which I think is probably like a anti-infantry gun or anti. In fact, let me see if I can quickly find, just to give myself a quick break from painting. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. German para heavy weapons. So this is the box here. So we've got a couple of guns here. So that's not the Pak 36 because I haven't done that one yet. It is the LG 40. That's the gun that is there, and that is fired from the Pak 36. That's an anti-tank grenade. So yeah, so Pak 36 anti-tank gun with anti-tank grenade option. Then you've got the LG 40, which is a recoilless gun. There's a 50mm mortar and an anti-tank rifle, and then obviously the wheeled weapons container, which will be probably a jumping off point, I think is what I'll go for. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, see, it's when we've got these experts in the language, it really does help. I've also got some hat World War II German bicyclists. Bicyclist. Oh, I don't know what the plural is for that, but German troops on bicycles, which I thought would make for a good sort of 1940s invasion of France, Battle of France army. So I shall have to at some point put those together, put them on bases, but I think that'd be quite fun. Don't know what I'll paint the bicycles, but I'm sure I can. Well, to be fair, the show I went to back at the end of May, reenactment show, there was a couple of reenactors, German reenactors, doing on bicycles. Just thought it was really good fun. I wish I was an expert. We're all experts in our own way. Just got to find your audience that make you an expert. For me, I generally talk to my daughter, but then sometimes I just embarrass myself with not knowing the answer. So she's pretty good at understanding that we all have our limitations, except for when she wants something and I can't deliver it, and then she's like, "Why can't you deliver it?" So we have good fun. Right. Perfect. Liking this. Let's get the black off his smock. Hate trying to squeeze the paintbrush underneath or like a weapon or something to try and sort of trying to get a bit that you've missed, and then like you actually get something that you don't want to painted, and it's just a little bit frustrating. But hey ho, that is part of it. Right, what have I got? 4 bases left to do. Making good progress here. I think we'll have all the black done on these figures by 9 o'clock. Robert, what are you working on this evening, or are you just sitting back and enjoying a nice chilled out drink on this lovely summer's evening, which is a bit muggy to be honest, but sticky. And although if you're in Brighton, it might be a bit better. What I might do, depending on how far I get with these figures, if I get them sort of finished and haven't had time to prime some more figures for next week, what I might end up doing is building some figures and basing them next Wednesday. So we'll obviously be doing a live stream, and we'll obviously be doing some hobby stuff, but it might not necessarily be painting, but that's all right. I'm sure you guys won't mind. Bit of change, bit of variety. Yeah, I think most of this weekend is going to be taken up doing moving furniture around, which is great because I want to get into the new hobby room now and get myself sorted, squared away. But we'll wait and see. Oh, well, I'm trying to finish off with my Plains Indians. It's not that warm. Oh, that's good. On probably both accounts, actually. Plains Indians sound fun. Not though flesh, I would imagine, unless you've gone for a particular tribe that wore more clothes. Depends where they were, really. I mean, different tribes and living in different parts of the country adapted to their surroundings in different ways. So some, didn't wear many clothes, and some wore quite a lot. especially, obviously if they were during the winter months, because it can get very cold. So the Plains Indians, for example, would have definitely wrapped up quite a lot during the winter because it gets cold, definitely gets snow on the ground. Having lived there for 4 years, I can definitely attest to that. In fact, the year I got married, December 2013, and we had some people who couldn't make our wedding because a snowstorm came in. But we got married in Oklahoma, just kind of about 45 minutes over the border from where we lived. So we got married in a place called the Marlin Mansion, who was an oil baron, essentially. Yeah. Ended up adopting some girl and then unadopting her so he could marry her. Very weird story. If you want to look it up, it's M-A-R. Is it M-A-R? Marlin? Oh, I can't remember. If you go Marlin, Marlin, Mansion, Oklahoma, I'm sure you'll find it. Right, let's get some webbing on this chap. He's looking like a very respectable infantryman, rifleman. Perfect. Lovely. Clean up the overspill on the smock. Right, 2 to go. We are winning, chaps. We are winning. Good. I think if I can remember what colour I did the helmets, I think I did it in like a Luftwaffe blue. And the Luftwaffe blue also worked well for the bandoliers or webbing rifle sort of cartridges as well. I can't remember what they called it, but essentially it's like a webbing belt that went round their neck, and it had lots of pockets for rifle ammunition. If I can remember, it's basically a bandolier, but obviously it looked different to the British and American ones. Well, painting Jones, so wunderbar. These are looking all right. Cool, happy days. The ones have not got a lot of clothes, not like the Apaches. Oh, okay, interesting. Right, all my new PLA sorted in the printing cabinet. Now my house no longer looks like an explosion in a filament plant. Fantastic. I mean, if you got all that terrain coming out from an explosion in a filament plant, then well, let's hope for some more. But yeah, no, nothing like having a good sort out and a good organisation, which is sort of what I'm doing at the moment with the hobby room, with the move. Give me a bit of a chance to have a tidy. I certainly threw out all the scrap foam from Minas Tirith the other day, so I was sort of doing a bit of moving in the room, and then that was quite nice. And then I've been sorting through some books as well, getting rid of books that I don't use, so that's been quite useful. Oh no, don't go on there like that. I suppose a little extra ink wash. Excellent, excellent, Smithers. Black there. A bit of black there. Good, good, good. A bit of black there. A bit there. Yeah, don't know why I tried to squeeze through that little space there, but there we go. We have. Cool. Right. That is the last one done for the black webbing. So I'm really pleased about that. Let's close this contrast paint before it goes diving, as we discussed last week. Let's look at the comments. What we say? Well, a new room can give you a fresh start. Hobby space wise, you know how much space you need, storage table, etc. Absolutely. And actually, I'm taking this desk here, which is about 5 foot long, and I'm hoping to have a bit of a clean up on it. And then I've got my filming desk, which is sort of a standard short, well, not particularly wide computer desk, so that will go with me. And then my big sort of storage rack will go with me, which I've filmed in front of a couple of times in the last video, I think I did, or maybe the one before that. So that'll go with me. The bookshelves are staying, which do take up quite a bit of room. And then I'm also taking my, I've got a kind of a small little, not a cupboard, but like little set of drawers. It's a 2-drawer thing, which I've got my record player on, my CD player. So I'm going to take that as well. So I've got music while I'm working. So that's really beneficial. And then one of the things that I want to kind of get back into, probably next year, 2026. So I think, sorry, I know I'm not paying for that. I'm just going to talk at you guys. Because captive audience and all that, but yeah, one of my plans is next year 2026 to do probably less hobby aims in terms of wargaming, but then I want to try to get back to doing some of my model railway, and noting that I won't be probably starting the actual layout baseboards and all that for at least a couple of years until I've built my hobby studio in my garden. At least a couple of years, maybe more than that. But I just want to start tinkering with it again. I want to start building, scratch building the buildings in Engage, because I really enjoy that. And I've got my other YouTube channel, Gosport Junction, and I think it could be quite popular. Certainly in the model railway community, there's quite a lot of like interest in YouTube channels, but it's just how I keep that going without actually having a layout to build on. So whether I sort of get sort of a, even if it's just a small piece of wood, maybe, just a little bit longer than this cutting mat, and then either about the same width or maybe a bit wider, and actually just try to do a scene on that, just to practice some of the core skills like track laying and maybe a bit of scenery, some scratch building, and I just try to build something that people can follow along the build, but also I can then get something out of it and practice. So I'm not sure whether I want to do that or not, because of course then I've got to store that somewhere. So few different questions in my head, but it's something I haven't done for a couple of years now, and I kind of want to do a little bit more of that as well. So yeah, I'm not sure quite what 26 is going to look like, but certainly from a war game perspective, if I'm doing the Napoleonic project, which would be probably the main one, I'd like to do that. I'll probably keep doing a little bit of Dead Man's Hand, Chicago Way, because those are fun games that I can solo play. Oh, excuse me, I needed that. and yeah, maybe some just more 20mm World War II stuff, because I do enjoy it. I just haven't really done a lot of it. I've also got the Gates of Antari stuff. So look, there we go. Straight away, probably four or five projects there. So yeah, it does. Yeah, thanks, Robert. It does sound like a plan. I just well, we all know what it's like being wargamers, isn't it? You know, you think of one thing and then you think of another, and then all of a sudden you've got 12 projects on the go. Nothing gets finished. So um, there is my intention to try to actually get some stuff finished. That would be ideal. Right. What was the next colour? And do I start it? I am not even sure I've got it out here at the moment. It is not German grey. It is German dark camo. Have I got that? No, that's black. No, that's German dark green. Oh no, camo dark green. These are no, it's millet. Well, I know I've got it here somewhere. That's camo black brown. I don't think that was the colour I was using. I will have to have a watch of my video again. Remember what it was. Basically, I'm going to be using it for the cups on the top of the water bottles and any gas mask canisters. Not that one. Oh, maybe that one there on the back of his pack. I don't know if you can see that. Let's just hold that up a little bit more. Only 12. Yeah, I know, Steve. I am absolutely slacking. Yeah, I think so. The back there. Yeah. Yeah, it probably is in a safe place, like just about everything else I've got in a safe place, and then I can't find it. Yeah. Anyway, I think I'm doing all right on these. I've got to finish off the webbing, which shouldn't take long, and then it's yeah, some of the helmets I need to do. But I think when I do those, I can also get the bandoliers, if I can find an example of a guy with a bandolier. Yeah, well, so this guy's got a bandolier. You can see on his chest there. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah, so get those done, and then I'll just need to get the rifles done and work out what colour to do this gun. But I think there's a good chance I can get that, and then I think white paint for this with some red marks on it. And I think they're not a million miles off being done, to be fair. Yeah, encouraging stuff, I would say. Cool. Let's see, 7 minutes to 9. Yeah, questions from the floor. Anybody? Anything that's burning? I would at some point quite like to do these buildings. I showed last week these 3D printed ones because they are quite nice. I think I probably make quite a good job of them, and the barn's quite nice as well. Bit cobwebby, but that's my neglect. I wonder if they'd be brick or whether these would actually be stone. I think it might be stone. So that could be quite fun. Something different to paint to the brick of the house, I guess. Although that also looks like that could be stone rather than brick. But yeah, I'll have to have a think about it. Bit dusty, but they're quite nice. The roofs come off and you can put troops in them and stuff. So it's always good fun. And I do like these pegs on the corners, which mean that you can actually line up and they won't come falling off like some. So yeah, good little builds. Probably at some point should buy some more of them so I can actually have a really nice setup for Normandy, and then obviously there's hedgerows. I don't want to build any of those, but yeah, yeah, I need to print one of those and use the same color to tie them in as a set. Yeah, that's a good idea. I wonder some sort of tan. I need to look at some pictures of buildings in Normandy, see what sort of colour stone they do. Yeah, they are quite nice, Robert. These are from, remember the name now. The guy who used to do the MDF stuff. JB Wargaming. He's on Facebook. His prices are really good, actually. I think anyway. I think they're really affordable. I expect for a 20mm building to be paying a fair amount. I mean, grey whitish stone. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Blue slate roofs, like it. I'm now really tempted to get on and prime these and actually start painting them. Maybe that would be something for next Wednesday. Could prime them over the weekend quite quickly. Or that might be tempting. Finally get them done. Anyway, sorry. So yeah, I think, well, the 28mm plastic ones from Great Escape Games, and their kits, you have to build them yourself. I mean, the cheapest ones are £25, and I think I paid like 12 quid for one of those buildings. I think 12 quid, something like that. I mean, it was a really good price. You know, yes, it's 20mm, but you can, because it's obviously a STL file, he can print it at whatever scale you want. So if you want it in 15mm, you can print that in 15mm, which is really good, or 28mm, whatever you want. So yeah, highly recommend. Joe Bilton was on Storm of Steel's channel. Lots of useful information. I'll have to check that out. I do watch Storm of Steel. Thanks for that, Steve. That's really helpful. So if they are blue slate roofs, what would the ridge tiles be? Would they also be blue, or would they be a different colour? Question. And then the chimney breast, I assume that would be plaster over brick, because they've not printed any brick, just like this side here. So I'm guessing this would all be sort of plaster, and then you've obviously got that stone underneath, just as you have on the front here. So yeah, this could be a good shout for something to paint after I finish these Fallschirmjäger. The other thing is I need to build white plaster, feathered white plaster, so kind of like an off-white. He talked about the paints he used. And the ridge tiles are also blue. Brilliant, thanks, Johan. That's really useful. So I could definitely do that one Wednesday evening and have a go at that. I'd be tempted to paint the stone first and then paint the plaster over, second, or maybe the plaster first and then come in on the stone bricks. Maybe. I like the fact that this shutter is closed. It's half closed, half open. That's quite fun. Yeah. The only thing with it is the lines. So when you start painting, you can really see the lines, the layers of the print. But apart from that, it's not too bad. White and a thin black and brown wash near the ground. Ooh. Like that. Yeah, we might. I'll do that in a week or two's time. That could be a lot of fun. Yeah, I think I've already built the third squad as well. So I've got all the infantry figures built. The Pack 36 is one that I need to paint and base. And then it'll be the 58th Army figures that I've got to paint. So that'll be something for me to paint, for those to build as well, getting those ready to prime. But I think when I prime those, I'm going to try to do them in a way that I get most of the base color uniform used as the or painted as the primer, and then maybe do a wash over the top of that and some highlighting, so it's quite a quick process. Use buff or grey for the bricks. Red brown brick too makes it stand out a bit more. Yeah, it's a good idea, and I like that idea you mentioned about getting the colour of the barn and the bricks on the building kind of tied in together. I think that could be fun. Right, well that's 9 o'clock. I think some good progress has been made, particularly getting those trousers and boots done as well. That's the uniform done. Now it's just get the webbing and the rifles, a few helmets, and then a couple of pieces of equipment, and then that is that done. So really pleased with that. Thank you ever so much again for your support. Really appreciate it. I'm glad the kind of new setup or this new way of doing it is working for you. So we'll do this again next Wednesday. I was going to say check out Sunday's video, but I actually haven't had a thought about what I'm going to do for Sunday's video. So I need to have a think about that. It may well be those walls, in which case I need to finish them, which I probably should have done tonight, but never mind. So yeah, maybe a short review video of the walls on Sunday this week, but do check that out, 6 o'clock UK time anyway. And as usual, thank you ever so much. Have a great weekend, everyone. Well, thank you, Robert. Thank you, Johan, and thank you, Steve, for your interactions this evening. As always, making this live stream far better than just me rambling on. So that concludes this week. Take care, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.